The people, by the people.
Hello there, very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News here on News First, where the people come first. You're joining me, Naveksha Gunasekara, and we start off by taking a look at your headlines.
President in Philippines meets Marcos Jr. for talks. National Council meets for the very first time in Parliament. SJB, JVP, TNA, a no-show. Sri Lanka calls for bids for spot purchasing coal. 22nd Amendment Bill to be debated next week. Sanath Nishantha ordered to appear in court. Nipuna Ranavaka faces strong resistance at Matara DCC.
In your top story, President Ranil Wickremesinghe will chair the 55th Asian Development Bank annual meeting of the Board of Governors in Manila on Thursday.
Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe has met with Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. at Malacanang Palace in Manila.
Pleased to meet you. Thank you very much.
The President's media division said that both heads of states engaged in bilateral discussions. President Wickremesinghe flew to the Philippines from Japan on Wednesday the 28th after being awarded an audience with the Japanese Emperor and a meeting with the Japanese Prime Minister. The Sri Lankan President is expected to attend the 55th Asian Development Bank annual meeting of the Board of Governors. Thereafter, he is to meet with the President of the Asian Development Bank.
The National Council that was formed following a proposal made by the Prime Minister meets in Parliament for the first time under the patronage of the Speaker on Thursday.
The National Council will consist of the Speaker as the Chair, the Prime Minister, Leader of the House of Parliament, the Leader of the Opposition in Parliament, the Chief Government Whip, the Chief Opposition Whip, and not more than 35 members of Parliament. The National People's Power, the Samagi Jana Balawegaya and the Dala Salaha Peruma faction had not nominated their representatives for the National Council. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party and the Tamil National Alliance previously announced that they would not participate in the National Council. However, Uttara Lanka Coalition, which includes Vimal Veeravansha, Uday Gammampila and Vasudeva Nanayakkara, had nominated their representatives for the National Assembly, but they did not participate today.
Leader of the National People's Power, Anura Kumara Dissanayake, expressed why his party did not send representatives to the National Council. He made these remarks after the party leaders' meeting in Parliament today.
What is the purpose of a National Council? They are suppressing the people's protests and attacking them while discussing about a National Council. The government is politicizing the National Council and is carrying out economic policies as per their whims and fancies. The National Council is only for its namesake. This is Ranil Wickremesinghe's attempt to ease international pressure regarding the fraud, corruption and the accusation levelled against him for not having a people's mandate. These were the views expressed by SJB MP Hesha Vitanage about the National Council at a media briefing this morning. They invited us, but can we go and stand with Ranil Wickremesinghe in this so-called National Assembly, which is a platform that protects the thieves? We as the SJB stand firmly to represent the people and the needs of the people. The people of this country must identify who depends on Ranil Wickremesinghe and who is fulfilling his intentions.
Bill entitled 22nd Amendment to the Constitution will be taken up for debate on the 6th and 7th of October 2022. This decision was taken At a meeting of the Committee on Parliamentary Business chaired by Speaker Mahinda Yapa this morning to discuss next week's parliamentary proceedings. It was also decided to hold the parliamentary sessions from the 3rd to the 7th of October next week. Moving on to more local news, SLPP State Minister Sanath Nishantha, who is alleged to have made a statement that was in contempt of court, was issued summons by the Court of Appeal to be present in court on the 13th of October 2022. Justices of the Court of Appeal Nisanka Karunaratne and R. Gurusinghe ordered the Sri Lankan Attorney General to prepare contempt of court charges against State Minister Sanath Nishantha and then filed them in court. The order was made when petitions filed by 2 attorneys alleging that the SLPP State Minister had committed contempt of court and caused harm to the rule of law in his comments to the media at the SLPP head office premises on the 23rd of August 2022 were taken up. The matter will be called up on the 13th of October 2022. Parliamentarian Nipuna Ranawaka faced objection from a group of people when he visited the Mathura District Coordinating Committee on Wednesday. A group of people staged a protest prior to the arrival of MP Nipuna Ranawaka for the Coordination Committee meeting held yesterday at the Mathura District Secretariat. Despite the protest, MP Nipuna Ranawaka joined the Coordination Committee meeting. Speaker Mahinda Yapa also attended this event. Colombo District Secretary Pradeep Yasaratna says relief is being provided continuously to the people who were displaced following the massive fire that broke out in Kajimawatha on Tuesday night. Meanwhile, a program to distribute dry food rations to the displaced people took place today under the LOLC Divisavya program. A fire broke out in a group of houses in Kajimawatha at around 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday night. The fire was brought under control by the Colombo Fire Brigade, Sri Lanka Police, Sri Lanka Army and local residents. 300 people were displaced by the fire. They have been temporarily sheltered at the community hall and a temple. The Visavya program, supported by LOLC Holdings, immediately took action to distribute dry rations to the displaced people. Colombo District Secretary Pradeep Yasaratna says the report compiled by the committee appointed to make recommendations upon inquiring to the past fires at Kajimawatha and the area residents will be submitted to the Prime Minister within the coming 2 weeks. Another life was lost due to the human-elephant conflict today in Anuradhapura. A 76-year-old man, a father of one, died in a wild elephant attack last night in Kabethigolava. The attack took place when he tried to chase away the elephant that encroached into his garden. The wild elephant that encroached the village has damaged another house and some crops in that area. 5 people lost their lives due to wild elephant attacks in the last few days. Within the last 20 years, since 2002, approximately 1,504 human lives were lost due to elephant attacks and 4,630 elephants have died during that period. 2019 is considered to be the year with the highest number of human and elephant lives lost. That year, the Sri Lankan ecosystem lost 407 wild elephants and the country lost 122 precious human lives. The national organizer of the All Ceylon Agrarian Federation, Namal Karunaratne, says that farmers are in misery as they are unable to sell off their paddy at a reasonable price. He made these remarks addressing an agrarian discussion in Rajala yesterday.
What did
the government do just as farmers started harvesting their crops? They decreased the price of paddy from 180 to 120 rupees. Now they are only offering 80 rupees for a kilo of paddy. They can manufacture 625 grams of rice from a kilo of paddy. That's enough for 3 people. Even a pack of betel leaves is 100 rupees now. Isn't 3 full plates of rice worth at least the amount of a pack of betel leaves? It costs us 154 rupees to manufacture a kilo of paddy now. How are farmers protected when we have to sell it off for 80 rupees? They should bring down the cost of production to below 50 rupees.
Sri Lankan children are faced with severe food insecurity amidst the prevailing economic crisis in the country. The following report is about a food bank introduced at a rural school.
The TV Benagadra Central College has taken an initiative to provide breakfast to school children through the implementation of a food bank. Teachers and students who are able to bring an additional food packet and submit it to the newly established food bank within the school. As teachers, we are deeply concerned regarding the nutrition of our students. Some even faint during school because they are malnourished. Teachers and students who are able to provide additional food packs so the kids who are faced with poverty can have breakfast once they come to school. We the teachers have taken the initiative to provide food for the kids in our school as the government has failed to take initiative.
Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Vijaysekara says a spot tender has been advertised following the international competitive bidding method for the procurement of coal on short-term requirements.
He tweeted that the spot tender for coal procurement is open for suppliers registered with the Lanka Coal Company Private Limited and any supplier capable of supplying coal with the minimum 180-day credit facility. Minister Kanchan Vijaysekara further noted that long-term tender for coal procurement will be advertised by next week.
A group led by the chairman of the Tunhele National Movement, Venerable Omare Kasapatera, visited the head office of the Ceylon Electricity Board. The objective of this visit was to obtain information and data pertaining to the recent increase in electricity tariffs in the country. The convener of the Labour Struggle Centre, Dubinda Nagamu, says they are giving the Ministry of Public Administration 7 days to revoke the circular that suppresses the rights of government officials to express their views on social media.
We will give PK Mayadunne 7 days. Since he works very slowly, we are giving him 7 days. If not, this actually needs only 24 hours. This is completely against the fundamental rights and it violates the constitution. We will give him 7 days to withdraw this. If not, we will go to courts against him and those behind this gazette. This is a clear case. There are previous court decisions regarding this. These circulars issued by the ministers cannot be above the constitution. The constitution is above all. They cannot make the rules at the bottom level which will violate the constitution.
Sri Lanka Customs arrested a 43-year-old Ugandan man on Wednesday morning at the Katunayake Airport's arrival terminal for the possession of cocaine. Investigations revealed that the suspect, a farmer in Uganda, had flown to Guinea in West Africa and then to Casablanca in Morocco. Thereafter, he had flown to Qatar and reached Sri Lanka aboard Qatar Airways flight QR664.
Customs officials had become suspicious following the suspect's arrival and has taken him away for an inspection, and an airport scan revealed the presence of small pockets in his abdomen, and interrogation revealed that he was smuggling cocaine. The suspect was arrested and during questioning he revealed that he had swallowed 80 packs of cocaine valued at over 50 million rupees. 17 cocaine packets valued at over 10 million rupees have been retrieved by customs. The suspect was handed over to the Police Narcotics Bureau for further investigations. 23
police OICs have been transferred with immediate effect. Police spokesperson attorney SSP Nihal Talduwa says the OICs in question were assigned for other duties at different police stations. The transfers made as per directive issued by the Inspector General of Police. A fisherman has fallen prey to a crocodile in the Nilvala River in close proximity to Akurasa. The body of the fisherman is yet to be found.
The fisherman has gone fishing in the Nilvala River at around 5:30 p.m. yesterday when he fell prey to a crocodile. There was a tree that was fallen into the river. The crocodile was on the tree with the body. Then it went further up the river once the people here started screaming. It came back on 2 occasions, but it didn't come back after nightfall. 34-year-old Palanisam Arungam was a father of 2.
Potters in Mathagoda say that the industry is now on the verge of becoming obsolete.
Many local industries have become obsolete as the country began importing goods that could have easily been manufactured in Sri Lanka. The pottery industry is one such example. However, there is a limited number of potters in various parts of Sri Lanka who still engage in the industry. These are potters from Akurasa. These potters state that their industry is in decay, regardless of the fact there is a good demand for pottery overseas, which is a foreign currency earning prospect for the Sri Lankan economy.
Coolio, the rapper who was among hip-hop's biggest names of the 1990s with hits including Gangsta's Paradise and Fantastic Voyage, died on Wednesday at age 59.
Longtime manager Jairus Posey told the Associated Press that Coolio, whose legal name was artist Leon Ivy Jr., died at the home of a friend in Los Angeles. The cause was not immediately clear. Coolio won a Grammy
will ramp up security around oil and gas installations after the suspected sabotage of 2 major pipelines. The EU, US and NATO have suggested damage to the pipelines between Russia and Germany was deliberate but have not blamed Russia directly.
Russia said that it was not involved and asked if the US was instead. Russia has previously been accused of using gas supplies as a weapon against the West over its support for Ukraine. The leaks on the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines were discovered on Monday and Tuesday this week. Neither pipeline was operating at the time, as the Nord Stream 2 project was abandoned when Russia invaded Ukraine, and Russia shut down Nord Stream 1 in September, citing a need for maintenance. But both pipelines were still full of gas which bubbled to the surface in an area a kilometer wide on the sea's surface. Danish Energy Minister said the leaks were likely to last for at least a week until the gas escaping from the pipes runs out. An investigation has been launched. European security officials on Monday and Tuesday observed Russian Navy support ships in the vicinity of leaks in the Nord Stream pipelines likely caused by underwater explosions. Russian submarines were also observed not far from those areas last week. The prime ministers of both Denmark and Sweden stated publicly that the leaks were likely the result of deliberate actions, not accidents, and that it cannot be ruled out that a foreign power is behind it. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan called the leaks apparent sabotage in his tweet. In response to the allegation that Russia caused the leak, the Kremlin has publicly denied striking the pipelines.
Sri Lanka secured a resounding win against the Maldives in Game 5 of the 2022 South Asian Basketball Association Women's Championship 2022.
Match 5 of the South Asian Basketball Association Women's Championship 2022 between Sri Lanka and the Maldives took place on Wednesday the 28th evening in Malé, Maldives, in front of a packed crowd, including the Maldivian President and Vice President. Sri Lanka took the lead at end of the first half with a score of 46-22. Sri Lanka continued to dominate the game and won 72-59.
And that's a wrap of Lunchtime News. For all these stories and much more, visit our website www.newsfirst.lk. Thank you for joining. Have yourself a great day ahead.